welcome to the SPRTER podcast. Let me introduce you to our audience. So I'm Tilo, the founder of the SPRTER app, and we are talking to Barak Faulk, a defensive lineman of the number 2 ranked team in the nation right now, Cincinnati. As a college football player, as a freshman, and so starting out at the University of Cincinnati and has just gone through the transition from high school into college. So we're excited to talk to you, have you on the podcast. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I also want to make sure that you mention Barak's experience store that's on the SPRTER podcast, that's on the SPRTER app, where he provides experiences to some of his followers, whether it's a nutritional plan, a Spotify playlist, any of those type of experiences. Check out his profile on the SPRTER app there and go and start booking some experiences with Barak. Now let's start off. How did you start with football? Walk me back.
So I started when I was little, 5th grade when I actually started, and then kind of just progressed from there, and then moved to a couple schools. And in high school, my dad was my defense coordinator, so he was pretty tough on me, but he pointed me in the right direction. So, and then Cincinnati was interested, and I ended up here.
That's interesting how you have the parent who's pushing, and we see that a lot with kids where their parents are their trainers and their coaches, and they usually push really hard. Now, how did you start getting interest from Cincinnati? Were there other schools that were interested? How did you make that decision? Cincinnati is the right fit for me.
Well, I've been in Cincinnati ever since I was born, so staying close to home was a big thing. And a lot of coaches talked to me throughout high school, and I really enjoyed it here. I came down a few times while I was still in high school, had a great time here. But I mean, really, I just love it here. It's great college and great facilities.
That makes a lot of sense, being from the area, staying close to friends and family, and obviously Cincinnati is a strong school, dominating part of the conference right now, and so there's a lot of growth. Now, with that transition from high school going into D1, how's it different? What's the same? How's it different? And how did you feel the experience, the transition there?
I mean, coming into college, I mean, you got to buckle down a little bit, not just with football, but with school as well. And I thought I managed it pretty well. The game overall moves a little bit faster than high school, obviously, but I'm getting used to it, and it's been great so far.
And have you gotten some time on the field? Have you gotten some time with the group in training, and how's that?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we have a really, really good team right now, really stacked. I play defensive line, so we have a bunch of guys rotating in. But we're doing good. We're doing really good.
And I mean, competing against them on a almost daily basis, how's that feel? And where do you feel like, look, here's where I see the biggest improvement for my own game?
Well, I mean, yeah, every day we're going against one of the top O-lines in the nation, and I get to practice and really perfect my craft. So it's been an awesome experience.
And I can see that in terms of having that tough competition. Do you guys push each other, in whether it's on the field, but then also in the weight room? What's it like there?
Oh, for sure. We're always competing, always going after each other, and it's not to where like it's annoying or anything. It's always a fun, competitive spirit, and we have a good time with it, and we really make the most out of it.
Okay, I mean that's really good to push each other and have that sort of connection there as well. Now, when you talk about the training, you don't push each other. You push each other, but you keep it friendly. We also know that there's a lot of locker room banter, and we actually have a segment that we call Locker Room Banter. We ask you to share one of the best experiences or one of the funnest or whatever that experience is that you would like to share, where there's a unique locker room banter that you have with one of your current or former teammates. What is that?
I guess something that something fun we did, I guess, was after practice, we went into our locker room, and there's been a lot of talk about earlier in the year we weren't getting enough style points and, whatever for the college football playoffs. But our coach really preached just have fun with it, just go out there and win. And we came into the locker room, and we all kind of got around, and one of the big O-line guys saw a table, and he kind of just jumped through it, got everybody hyped up. We all went crazy. It's out there somewhere, but it was fun. It was a good time.
So I guess that table lost.
Yeah, that table lost.
That's usually what happens when you get one of a bigger linesman jumping on tables. So
For sure.
And you feel like that was a spark, one of those moments where, like, from here onwards, we're just gonna get some more of these style points.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, after that, we kind of just relaxed and focused on winning and coming together as a team instead of just, everyone in their own head worried about other things.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Now, is there one teammate who's, call it, adopted you, as in one of the older guys who's like, all right, let me take care of you, let me show you how it's done over here? Or is there someone who, you feel really like they've really been really supportive? I know there's a lot of teammates, but is there one specific teammate, and how are they going about it?
Yeah, I mean, just going through it for my class and the class below me, I mean, I can't really pick out one, but I mean, just all the senior D linemen, we have 5 or 6 maybe, but all of them have really done a great job of just taking all of us under their wings and showing us different things, tips and tricks, and just really coaching us instead of, it's always great to have another player and almost a friend, correct you and help you out instead of the coach just kind of preaching all the time. So they've done a great job, and I can't thank them enough.
That's awesome. And yes, there's only, I mean, having that many players on the field as well, it's just difficult to have the coach focused on you all the time anyway. So it makes sense that some of the more experienced players come in and support. That's really nice to hear. Now, name, image, and likeness has been a big thing, right? How's that for a school that's been doing so well on the pitch? How's that for you as part of that? Everyone's talking about football. Is it easy? What does the school do? And can you talk me through some of that experiences?
I guess for image likeliness, there's a lot of people that come out and want our signatures and stuff, and I'm happy to do that. I have no problem with that. But I mean, I've gotten contacted through other things, a lot of Instagram DMs and text messages from people trying to collaborate, but really nothing through the school. The school doesn't really help with that, and the team doesn't either. When we're in the facilities, we focus on football, and that's it. Other than that, I'm doing that by myself, really.
Okay, so you're proactive with that as well, and obviously part of the SPRTER app, you have some cool experiences set up there. So that I think is always, you can see you're making an effort to connect with your fans, which is great to hear as well, and great to see. Now, another aspect that you have that on your profile bio, that you are a Barstool athlete. What does that mean to you?
I mean, I kind of did that earlier in the year. Kind of when everything came out. I didn't think it was a huge deal, but just getting that recognition's I guess.
And what has Barstool done thus far for their athletes? Have they been doing anything? Have they been keeping you in the loop? What is going on there from that side?
They sent like clothing and stuff like that. Just earlier if you emailed them and stuff, but other than that, I mean, it's not really anything crazy. I think it was just kind of getting out there and being supportive of student athletes, kind of getting the word out.
Okay. And I mean, any of that, whether it's clothing, is cool merch, that's always, it's nice to have that as well. Yep. One of the comments here said, it means that you're an absolute beast. What is, what does that mean to be an absolute beast on the field or in the gym? How do you hype yourself up, and how do you keep training so hard?
I mean, training, it just comes with football, and I love football. I wouldn't say I'm an absolute beast yet, but I'm always trying to strive and work for that. Appreciate it, T-Comp.
And how does nutrition play a role in the training, in the daily life for you?
I mean, I'm always trying to eat right or the best I can. I think it's more of trying to drink a lot of water is what I try and do, and eat as healthy as I can. Usually, sometimes I fail at it, but I'm trying to get better at that.
And does the team provide some advice there, or
Yeah,
how does that look?
yeah, for sure. I mean, the strength coaches are really great and help out with a lot of things. They can make a nutrition plan if you need it. They're always giving us protein. After our workouts, we're always getting protein in us regardless, and we're always talking about drinking water and stuff. So they really do a great job.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, is it mostly like protein shakes, or is it like fully cooked meals that you guys are getting?
We get meals too, and usually if we're hungry, there's food around, so we're not really hungry throughout the day.
That's good to hear. And it obviously, it's being a student athlete, being on the field so long during the day, cooking is probably fairly down on your priorities list, I would assume.
Yeah, for sure. Don't have a lot of time either, so it's nice having those meals.
Yeah, how is it balancing school and actually the training?
I mean, it's hard sometimes, but you're gonna be up late sometimes and have to do that work. But going to class, they kind of schedule things around so we're able to go to class and then go to practice, and then usually after practice, get going on homework and different stuff like that.
And what do you study, and how does that feed with your future goals?
So I'm doing sports administration and legal studies. So obviously I love sports. I'm playing a sport right now, and I kind of want to be involved in that later on in life. And legal studies is something I took interest in, and I'm kind of excited to explore more about that.
That makes a lot of sense. Obviously, legal is the foundation for a lot of the pretty much everything we do in the sport world. So it makes a lot of sense to have that strong foundation there. And then the sport administration aspect is there. There's some very strong professors. I think I know a few of them personally at Cincinnati. So they have a good program there as well. Now, from that sport administration hat, if you put that hat on, and if I ask you to make one change, so we have this segment we call Break the Rules. If you could break the rules for college football to make the game better, whatever better means, it could be more entertaining, it could be anything, it could be better for the players, could be better for the fans, whatever it is, what would you change?
I would probably change, I guess, the roughing the passer. I guess. I mean, I think that it gets a little. I don't know how to put it. It gets a little soft sometimes. So I would probably change that a little bit, just because I play D-line too. We're always striving to hit the quarterback and put pressure on the quarterback, and sometimes it's kind of a crappy call.
So you feel like you want a little bit more freedom in
Yeah,
getting really involved. That's what I
yeah,
hear.
a little bit more freedom for the defense. Yeah.
And how would that make the game better?
I think it gets people excited. More people want to watch it. More people want to, cheer for their team. So and those big hits really play a factor in momentum. So I like that about the game.
Yeah. And I think that could also really lead into, putting more pressure on the quarterback to pass faster, causing probably a few more tumbles, causing a few more turnovers, and make the game a little bit faster and a bit more exciting that way. So I could see that, because if someone 6'3", 220, 240 pounds running towards me, I'm gonna pass that ball. So I understand. Now, with that, again, it's pretty early on in your D1 career, but Cincinnati's doing really well. You're going to a bowl game, right? I mean, you're going. I'm pretty sure. You're also leaving the AAC, or the American Athletic Conference, right? So you're joining the Big 12?
Yes, sir.
How's that? How did you perceive that? What's the excitement around that? Or is there any excitement around it?
Yeah, there's definitely excitement. I mean, it's always interesting to get new competition, so we'll be playing a lot of new teams. And we'll also get kind of respect, I think, for our team, and get some newer facilities, things that a Big 12 school has that we don't have right now. So I'm really excited for that.
So is there going to be some new investment in those facilities because of that change, or?
I mean, I would think so. Right now, we don't have an indoor facility. It's kind of like a bubble, we call it. It's like a inflatable thing that goes over our outdoor field. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do something with that. I'm not for sure yet, but for sure yet though. So we'll see.
Yeah, I would assume that there's certainly a lot of money coming in through the Big 12 TV contract. So somehow that money needs to be spent. Our facilities would be a good one to help with recruiting down the road as well. Obviously, that's going to lead to some competition as well. But I think competition is always good for on the field. Now, pushing into the winter break. As I said, I'm pretty sure you guys will have a bowl game, but as you alluded to earlier on, saying, hey, we may get more recognition. Do you feel like Cincinnati is not getting the recognition you deserve for the season you're having right now?
I mean, we're pretty good recognition now. I feel like in the start it was a little off. People weren't really sure about us, and I feel like there is some disrespect still. But I'm excited to see what we do and how far we go.
And how do you keep yourself, obviously over the winter break, you're probably going to play a ball game, you're still in the training and you're pushing to that. How's that feel to, other people are on a break during the winter. You are not on a break. You are pushing through, you're training, you're traveling. How's that taking a toll on the body and mentally?
I mean, you have all your guys, all your friends going through it too. So we're all, it's not like we hate it, but we'd obviously rather be doing something else sometimes. But seeing the results after is what keeps everybody going, and where we want to be is what's keeping everybody continuing to do it. So we're just excited, ready to go, ready to get into winter too.
What was your and that makes a lot of sense, having the other guys on the team really there to support. Now, what was your favorite travels or favorite game this season, and why?
I would say, the Notre Dame game was one of our top games played. It's just beating such a high-profile team at their place really kind of got us moving and really showed a lot of people what we can do and how we do it.
And do you feel like that helped with confidence, gave the team another boost, or was it just one of those, yep, that's who we are?
It was a little bit of both. We walked in there knowing that, we were going to play how we were going to play, and the end result was going to be, the team that played the hardest, and, I thought the hardest.
Okay. No, that's, yeah, it's certainly a big win there. We do have one segment where we ask for pro advice. Where some of the listeners send questions to ask you where they're in any shape or form where they're struggling or where they have some questions. Now, one of our submissions reads, how do I get noticed by D1 schools? Now, you said, hey, they invited me, I came a few times, but how's that notice? How does that initial contact came about, and how did you deal with that?
I would say the top two things for knows you playing football is you got to have good film, and then you also got to go to camps, because without camps, that's how you really get noticed by a lot of other colleges. And then once you get that first offer, I mean, stuff just starts to come in and just go hard, relentless at camps. And I mean, I don't see how a college wouldn't want someone that is always going hard and ready to play.
And for the film, did you take that yourself? Did you have some friends take it? Did you have a pro take it, or how did you go about that?
Well, in my school we had a huddle, so it's kind of like a football where your games go. So then I would pick each play, put it in a category, and then make a mesh up of all the plays that I made that season or whatever.
Okay, so you took charge of that, and I think that shows a lot about your approach to not just the game, but also personal branding, which I think overall shows the professionalism of a player, which is awesome to see from someone who is a freshman. Now, when we think about football and we think about you had your first half season, what are the goals for the second part of the season? What are the goals for next year?
I mean, the goal is always to win, and the goal is always to play our hardest and play that tough and nasty style that we play like. And I can't tell you what our record is going to be next year, but the way we're working, I mean, I can see us having another year exactly like this year.
And that's for the team, which means that, hey, yes, this is a team, but for you personally, what are your personal goals on the football pitch as well in the classroom?
I guess my personal goals would be to just compete every day and, not only make myself better, but make my teammates better. And then for the classroom, I mean, getting that goal GPA I have with my coach, and then just really being on top of everything, scheduling all my classes correctly, and staying on top of it.
So a lot of preparation, what I hear. a lot of calendar preparation. How do you stay on top of that? Do you have personal planning tools? Any tips that you can share with other college athletes?
Well, for me, I like to write stuff down. So instead of being on the computer all the time, which I usually am on the computer all the time, I like to take a calendar I have and write down different dates and different things I do. And it's not only just school though; it's also things I have to do like work or pick up someone or do something like that.
Like physically handwritten.
Physically write it down, and I got it right on the date, right in the month.
And are you someone who takes a lot of pleasure in crossing things off that list?
Yeah, it's kind of satisfying. Once you complete everything, you just cross them off and then go on to the next day.
Now here's a question. Have you ever already completed something, then written it down just to cross it off?
Maybe to get my day started. Yeah.
I do that. So I'm guilty of it as well.
Yeah.
No, that means it's good to have that accomplishment every now and then, and it's great to see that you're that scheduled and on time and prepared, which I think is going to go a long way with a professional career. If you take that type of a serious approach to all of it, that goes a long way. Now, I do want to make sure that we give you the time that if there's anything that we haven't covered yet in terms of your first few months at Cincinnati, any special shout outs, any excuse me, any special shout outs, anything that made the experience better?
I mean, I have a great time down here. There's a lot of great people. Cincinnati's the place to be. So I don't have anything else. I mean, this was a great podcast. I loved it. I like talking about Cincinnati and football all the time. I could do that any day.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. One thing to keep in mind for all of the followers, check out Barak's SPRTER app. Check out his experience store, connect with him through some of the experiences there. Follow him on all of the social media accounts, whether it's Instagram, we tag him, as well as the SPRTER app. So make sure to follow him there to check out what he's doing in his career as moving forward. And we're excited to see you on the pitch soon.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.